Yo, yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy GZTV back with another video. And we are here Thursday, January 9th, once again with some more NBA action. Now, pretty much every game tonight was good, besides the Timberwolves Magic. We will not be talking about that game. And obviously, the Hornets Lakers got postponed due to the wildfires in LA. Prayers up to everybody in LA. That shit looks horrible. Like, it's genuinely getting pretty serious now. You know, people were making jokes at first, but it's getting pretty bad. So, hopefully, if you're in that area, you're getting the fuck out of there, and hopefully you can recover financially, emotionally, physically, even if you got hurt, all that stuff. So, now that that's out of the way, we're going to get into the games. Let's start Raptors Cavs, and this is kind of the main event of the night because holy shit, literally the night after beating the probably the best team in basketball right now, or one of them up there with them, they come out and Darius Garland scores a season high 40 points. The Cavaliers beat the Raptors by 6. This is their 12th straight win. My God, the Cavs are looking as great as ever. Like, this is probably the best Cavs team I have ever seen. Like, when it is all said and done, even if they don't win a championship, like, in terms of roster, in terms of how they play, this is probably the best Cavs team we've ever gotten. It's kind of crazy. Obviously, Darius Garland having probably one of his, if not his best game of the season. And then you get Jarrett Allen with some decent scoring and amazing rebounding, of course, just being that traditional big that the Cavs have. And yeah, this is the best team in the league for sure. The Cleveland Cavaliers are proving it time in and time out. Yeah, dude, just win after win. Obviously, like Donovan Mitchell not even playing in this game, and I know the Raptors aren't a good basketball team, but Darius Garland stepping up, when the star player isn't playing. And, Jarrett Allen getting to the rim, getting up and throwing it down. I mean, a good game. Shout out to the Raptors for making it close, but obviously, Darius Garland getting in transition, hitting layups. Scotty Barnes was making it tough. He was getting to the rim, being aggressive. But man, oh man, this is a very special Cavs team. We are witnessing like Cavs history again. If LeBron had some of these surrounding pieces, like even if he had just like Darius Garland and Evan Mobley, I mean, I don't even know. Obviously, Kyrie's a fantastic basketball player, and Kevin Love and Tristan Thompson and JR were good in their own rights, but this is just the way this team plays. It's fucking phenomenal. Scotty Barnes, though, 24 points, 10 rebounds. He had a good game. He shot 55%. You get a 20 piece from RJ Barrett off of 33% three-point shooting. And you get 23 points and 12 rebounds for Chris Boucher off the bench. Like a really good game for the Raptors here. They played just about as good as they could with their available pieces. Now, would it be nice if Davion Mitchell would be a little bit more of like an offensive threat maybe off the bench? Sure, but he's not really known for being an offensive player, so that's not really something they look for out of a player like that. But looking at the Cavaliers, 21 points and 11 rebounds for my boy on the fantasy squad, Evan Mobley. He shot 60% from 3. You get 18 points, 15 rebounds for Jarrett Allen, and of course that 40 piece from Darius Garland. So these guys are going fucking crazy. Best team in the league for sure. I don't really think that's much up for debate anymore. So shout out to the Cavs for continuing to be great. As we move on to Warriors Pistons, Buddy Hield scores 19. He helps the Warriors bounce back from lopsided losses with a three-point win over the Pistons. And every time I talk about the Warriors on this channel, I'm like really excited to see Flight react to the videos because he's fucking great. Shout out to Flight Reacts. Again, Buddy Hield, solid scoring. They hold on. They get the win. A very much needed win. They're kind of teetering on the fence here. Kind of looking a little questionable, but that's a nice win to get. Obviously, TJD, Trace Jackson Davis was getting up and using his size. Pretty fun game here. I mean, Detroit made it difficult. Like Malik Beasley, not just being a three-point shooter now. Like he's getting to the rim and he's throwing shit down. Shout out to Kevon Looney. He was hitting tough shots. And I mean, defensively, like Jalen Duren being a rim protector made it tough for the Warriors. So no Curry again. Old Curry played, but I guess he didn't play that good. But you look at the Warriors, TJD, man, 14 points, 10 rebounds, and Steph Curry, off a pretty bad shooting night, had 17 points and 10 rebounds. Still a pretty good game for him. The fact he grabbed 10 rebounds is something. Nothing too special out of this game. I mean, Cade Cunningham, 32 points. He shot 50% from 3. You get a 21-point performance from Malik Beasley. And sure, I really appreciate Jalen Duren being a rim protector and being a great rebounder, but in a game like this, you need to score. And obviously, they have like Ron Holland on the bench who's kind of doing the scoring, but I don't know. Jalen Duren definitely could have hit a couple more shots, got in the post more, and kind of used the underside. I mean, TJD isn't really undersized. I guess TJD just played really good defense this game, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like Jalen Duren definitely could have did more on the offensive end. I mean, he usually does. I think he averages a good 10 points a game. I don't know. it is what it is. I'm not trying to be nitpicky or whatever, but let's get into Blazers and Mavericks. Jalen Hardy, yeah, no, Jaden Hardy scores 25, and the Mavericks use a late 16-0 run to rally past the Trailblazers. They win by 6. This was looking like an easy win for the Trailblazers, but another disappointing shortcoming in a pretty tragic season for the Trailblazers. Yeah, Jaden Hardy having probably his best game of the year off the bench. PJ Washington, great scoring, amazing rebounding. That's been a guy that's been able to step up for the absence of Kyrie and Luka. Shout out to PJ. He's been absolutely incredible. Late, huge run. I mean, 16-0. I mean, those are just the type of runs that if you're a team like the Blazers, you're going to give up at some point, you know. So they get the dub. You know, Derek Lively the second. Well, we'll just call him Derek Lively, but he got some tough shots to go. Daniel Gafford was playing good defense. I mean, just everybody filling in. You know, they have perfect roles to kind of take over for those guys. Again, Derek Lively dunking on people all over the place. Really fun game. Like, even Quentin Grimes was hitting some tough shots, and he came off of a really good game against the Lakers. It's awesome. They have some guys. Like, right now, I think the Mavs, more than anything, are just showing that they have a competent roster outside of Kyrie and Luka. If you were ever doubting that and you're a casual, because I've seen, like, LeBron stands and, like, Lakers fans, like, oh, who's this random dropping 20 points? That's Quentin fucking Grimes, dude. Like, I don't know if you know, but yeah. Anthony Simons, though, for the Trailblazers had 22. He shot 40% from 3. You get another 22-point performance for Shaedon Sharpe. He shot 50% from 3. 11 points, 11 rebounds for Donovan Clingan off the bench. Really efficient game where he didn't miss a shot. Shot 4 for 4. And 20 points for Scoot Henderson. I mean, Scoot Henderson had kind of an off game the other night, but he put up 20. He shot 50% from 3. Another off game for DeAndre Ayton. We've talked about him a couple of times having off games, and obviously Donovan Clingan kind of cleans up the mess there. And they have Scoot Henderson as a scoring option off the bench. But, dude, DeAndre Ayton, you just got to play better. And especially, you know, stopping those runs. He shoots efficiently when he gets the ball. It's just he needs to get more aggressive. He needs to get more involved offensively. Kind of that sort of thing. 3 more games to talk about. Let's get into the Rockets and the Grizzlies. Out of nowhere, Ja Morant played this game, but it didn't really matter because Alperen Sengun has 32 points and 14 rebounds as the Rockets beat the Grizzlies by 4. Again, Ja Morant's return, and nobody really expected him to come back this early. It was kind of fucking strange. But yeah, man, Alperen Sengun scoring the rock, rebounding it at a very high level. He's a great fucking player who still to this day, even after some of the games and some of the numbers he has put up, he is still very underrated in this league. You know, they hold on, they win, and a showdown between two of some of the best teams in the Western Conference. And obviously, it's nice to see Ja Morant back for that. They need him to play in games like this, and 2 teams that you wouldn't expect to be atop the Western Conference. And this is looking like the fucking 2015 2016 era of basketball with like James Harden and Mike Conley and those guys leading those teams forward. You know, so it's kind of crazy. Obviously, like Santi Aldama was making it tough. He was hitting some tough shots. Really fun game though. Ja Morant hit some tough shots. Dillon Brooks against his former team, he was getting to the rim really well, and Jaren Jackson Jr. was getting to the rim really well. I think the Grizzlies played pretty good basketball tonight. There were obviously some weak points on their roster. We will get to that, but you know, they played decent. I mean, but Alperen Sengun, man, 32 points, 14 rebounds, made his only 3 of the game, shot 60%. This is a really good fucking Rockets team, and to think how young everybody on this team is. You have a 22-year-old Alperen Sengun. Obviously, Fred VanVleet's kind of a vet. Jalen Green, 22 years old. Amen Thompson, 21 years old. You get guys off the bench like Cam Whitmore, 20 years old. Jae'Sean Tate. I mean, Jae'Sean Tate's kind of a late bloomer, to be fair. But, like, even guys like, you know, they have guys. You know, Jabari Smith Jr. is young. Terry Eason is young. All those guys are extremely fucking young. So, yeah, it's kind of crazy. Jabari Smith Jr. is only 21. He's been in the league for like 3 years. That's fucking insane. But yeah, 22 points for Fred VanVleet. You get 27 points for Jalen Green. Now, obviously, Jalen Green is very streaky, and you're either going to get a good or a bad game, no in between. He shoots 50% from 3, allows the win. Jaren Jackson Jr. for the Grizzlies, he put up 21 points. He shot 60%. Pretty good game for him. 27 points for Ja Morant. Not the greatest shooting splits, but he still returned earlier than normal for that injury. And yeah, I think the rookies really just kind of messed this up for them. You know, Jalen Wells and Zach Edey just not putting great minutes up. I don't know, not the greatest minutes in the world. Obviously, you know, Brandon Clark, Santi Aldama, Jake LaRavia, Jay Huff, Luke Kennard. They have all sorts of bench options that can kind of cover up for the rookie mistakes. But I don't know. those are not good games. Zach Edey, maybe try to start Santi Aldama every now and then, or Brandon Clark, who's a long-time starter for a while when this team was like making playoff runs and stuff. I don't know. It is what it is. Let's get into the Hawks and the Suns. Bradley Beal leads with 25 points off the bench. The Suns pulled away late to beat the Hawks by 8. Obviously, quite the decision to bring Bradley Beal off the bench, but it seems like it worked out for the Suns, and you're playing a pretty good Hawks team here, so good results there. Obviously, Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant scoring the ball at a high level, and they get the dub. You know, Clint Capella's obviously going to be a lob threat always. That was an awesome play with Trey and him. Really fun game here against some star players here and there. You know, Zachary Risachet was making it tough. He was getting through defense, hitting tough shots. Clint Capella played really well on both sides of the floor, swatting shots, getting up for dunks, and just being that big man. David Roddy hit some threes. Yeah, man. I mean, you look at the Hawks, you get 10 points and 11 rebounds out of Clint Capella. You get 21 points out of Trey Young. Not the greatest shooting splits in the world, but, you know, he did what he did. Zach Risachet, again, as a rookie, just kind of struggling to find his way in the starting lineup. And they have a lot of bench options out there that they can play over him. And I think, you know, David Roddy could definitely get more minutes. And they have Onyeka Okongwu, DeAndre Hunter, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Garrison Matthews. They have all sorts of options. And I think especially, you know, guys like David Roddy and Garrison Matthews need more minutes, especially over Risachet. As Risachet can kind of sit back and take the back seat and kind of learn. But that's kind of my opinion on that. I don't really have too much to say. Let's get to the Suns, where you get a 23-point performance for Kevin Durant, who shot 60%. You get 20 points, 12 assists for Devin Booker. Good game there. 25 points for Bradley Beal, who shot 40% from 3. And frickin' Grayson Allen having one of the best games I've seen him have in a long time. 23 points. Shout out to him. Sorry, that's going to happen from time to time. I'm still a little nasally and still a little sick, as we're going to get to the Heat and the Jazz. A pretty poverty game, but Tyler Hero's 23 points and Jaime Jaquez' clutch plays lift the Heat over the Jazz. They win by 5. You know, great scoring from guys like Tyler Hero and Jaime Jaquez, you know, kind of being the forefronts. With Jimmy Butler facing that suspension and, like, kind of wanting out of there, there's that whole thing. You know, great scoring for Jaime Jaquez in the final, like, minute of the game. They lead them to a victory. Really fun game here. Kel'el Ware was getting up for some oops, all that stuff. So it's not a game I really care to talk about too much. It's kind of some poverty shit. But yeah, man, 23 points for Tyler Hero. You get 20 points for Jaime Jaquez, who shot 60% from 3. Really good stuff there. And this is just a Jazz team that's kind of all out of sorts. I mean, Lauri Markkanen goes out there, he puts up 23, he shoots 40% from 3. You get a 23-point game for Colin Sexton, who shot 33% from 3, 50% from the field. But you also have Johnny Juzang in the fucking starting lineup. I don't know. Playing him over guys like Drew Eubanks, playing him over guys like Caleb Williams, playing him over guys like even Cody Williams, not Caleb. That's the fucking Bears quarterback. Cody Williams, even playing him over guys like Patty Mills. I'm just not really sure about it. They have a lot of decisions to make with that roster. They have a lot of roster conflicts. I don't really know. But that is going to kind of do it. We're just going to briefly talk about tomorrow's games. Probably not going to watch them much because you have, I think, the Sugar Bowl or the Cotton Bowl tomorrow between Ohio State and Texas. That's going to be amazing. But the Warriors play the Pacers. You get Bucks and Magic. That'll be a fun one. Thunder Knicks is going to be fantastic. And that's really about it. So leave a like, comment, subscribe. Right after this, I'm just going to get recording on my top 25 albums of the year video. And I'm going to start editing that for a little bit tonight. But appreciate you guys for coming through. Really good night of basketball. I think tomorrow should be the same. And we should get another kind of early stoppage of